What's up, everybody? Welcome to the video. All right, so I'm a little sweaty and disheveled today. Just got back from the gym, but it's weigh-in time. Time to do this weigh-in. So I believe it's weigh-in number 9, and we'll get that going on the video here. I'm also going to be talking today a little bit about mental toughness and kind of my process and how I have developed, the mental toughness that I have, and how I essentially deal with it, and the struggles with it and whatnot. But we'll get into that more a little bit later. Let's do the video right now of the weigh-in. Here we go.
All right, guys. Here's weigh-in number 9. I can get my scale turned on. There we go. 0 out. $287.6.
All right, so there you have it. 287.6. I'm happy. That's good. I'm trying to remember my last week's because I haven't seen it. I want to say it's 289.8 was last week's. So pretty good 2-pound weight loss right there. That's what I'm shooting for. That's, the 1 to 2, preferably 2 pounds. It makes, to me, it makes a big difference. I feel like I've actually, accomplished a lot more and made more of a, more progress towards my weight loss when I get the 2-pound mark instead of the 1. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm gonna keep moving, keep this motivation going and the train rolling. So, I kind of wanted to talk a little bit today about mental toughness and my process. So my process for I believe like the first thing you need to do is understand how you as a person react to adversity. Essentially, the fight or flight response. What's your natural response to any kind of situation like that? Are you one to just, grind it out and dig through and fight through it? Or are you the flight guy or gal that kind of, I guess, runs or pulls themselves out of that situation? And knowing that those are just your initial response, I believe that the fight or flight, responses can kind of be learned too. You can learn that if you're a flight person, you recognize it, you have that initial flight response, and then you can kind of overcome it and be like, nope, I'm not doing that. I'm going to grind through and I'm going to fight through this. So, and that example right there, I feel is, and I feel like it's different in many different situations, but for the most part, I feel like that's how I am. You know what I mean? I'm not really confrontational. I think in my teenage years, I might have been more confrontational, and that's probably, due to many factors. But as an adult, I try to avoid any kind of confrontation or for the most part, my body wants to avoid and my mind wants to avoid any sort of like adversity or tough situation that it's thrown at it. And what I do is I recognize that self-awareness, kind of really getting, you have to be honest with yourself on this one, because most people don't want to be known as the flight person. Everybody wants to think that they're a fighter, that, that they're always going to fight through stuff, or that they're just, like that type A personality per se, or whatever. So, I mean, you really got to think about it, have some self-awareness, and be honest with yourself. It is what it is. So at that point, once you're being truthful with yourself, and you know what type of person you are and how you react to adversity, the second thing I do is, for me, and this is kind of specific mostly right now to the gym for me, but I've done it in the past with other things, is a lot of positive self-talk, right? Yeah, I talk to myself. So constantly telling yourself, you can do this, you will do this, quitting's not an option, you will never, succumb to this, failure's not happening, whatever you have to do, whatever you know what I mean? And I've even gone to the point where, like, when I'm at the gym and I'm on the treadmill or whatever, or I'm on the elliptical machine, or I'm, you know what I mean, and I've got the resistance, cranked way up, and I'm trying to go at 100, rotations per minute or whatever, and it's really difficult. I'll even put on motivational videos on YouTube that help you, that kind of tell you not to quit, that this is just a temporary amount of pain. You know what I mean? And you try to take in the bigger picture, or at least I do. I try to take in the big picture. If I'm going to spend 30 to 40 minutes a day on some sort of exercise, cardio exercise equipment, and blast through, some interval training or whatever at some super high intensity that's really uncomfortable for me, but it's a half hour out of 24 in the whole day. So perspective is very important. I would like to be able to tell myself, and I do tell myself, I can do and put up with just about anything for 30 minutes out of a 24-hour day. Plain and simple, right? And this is the self-talk that I have. So when I want to quit, when my mind's telling me that it would be much more comfortable to stop at 15 or 20 minutes, nope, not going to happen, right? Because 30 minutes out of my day, that's it. 30 minutes. You can do anything for 30 minutes. And I just tell myself this over and over and over again. And eventually, usually any sort of pain, physical pain or whatever, or, that I'm feeling at some point does subside. And the time goes by. You know what I mean? Next thing you know, you look up and you were at that 15-minute mark of your workout, and now it's 25 minutes. You've done all this 10 minutes of, coaching yourself and self-talk, and now you only have 5 minutes left. And then all of a sudden, that last 5 minutes is a lot easier than when you thought you had 15 more minutes to go or whatever. And this could be, applied to any part of life, and any, during college, during school, when you get halfway through the semester, you don't want to go anymore. You're tired of it. It seems like the semester's never going to end. You're inundated with tons of work, but then you just grind through, right? Next thing you know, you got a month left of school or a couple weeks left of school for that semester, and you're like, I can do it. Just throw anything at me. I don't care. You know what I mean? 2 weeks, 14 days, whatever. I'm going to knock it all out. I'm done, and I get a break. So that's how the second part of my situation here is, you first, you want to know what type of person you are. Second, you react to that, and you respond with self-talk when you're feeling, down or wanting to quit, to bring yourself back in the game. And then 3 is, I think this helps out a lot, because for me at least, when I don't want to put forth that kind of effort, a lot of times, then I have a hard time having a little bit of competition between two people, or even just kind of like knowing that for whatever reason, and I know mentally this is screwed up when people say it, but I have a lot easier of a time quitting on myself than I do on somebody else that's relying on me. So and I'm gonna give a couple shout outs right here actually to Jake Bagby back in the day and Scott Dugan back in the day. These are my buddies that I used to run with a lot. And running with them, I mean, they were better runners than me, faster runners. But it forced me to try and keep up. And I wasn't going to be that guy that just quit and stopped and fell out. You know what I mean? Like you push yourself to a new level when you surround yourself with those types of people that are better than you. And this, again, this works at anything, typically with sports or whatever, if you surround yourself with people that are better than you and play whatever game you choose, whether it's football, baseball, hockey, basketball, with people that are better than you, you will rise to their level. And so that's another little tool that will help. If you can find somebody that's, workout partners, they hold you accountable. And if they're better than you at something, then it really motivates you to keep up, right? Got to keep up with the Joneses. So that's like my third thing that I do, try to surround yourself with those people. And then the other thing is kind of knowing the capabilities of the human body. Everybody's body is my body's not as capable as a triathlete right now, obviously. Even if I was mentally tough at my size, my body probably wouldn't completely handle that, or but knowing what the human body is capable of makes it easier to know that if somebody else did this, then I can do it too. Or there's a potential that I could do it, right? So lately I've been following a lot of David Goggins. If you guys don't know who he is, he was a Navy SEAL. And Jocko Willink, which was also a Navy SEAL. And then Cam Hanes, which is he does ultra marathons and that kind of stuff. And especially with Cam Hanes, that really intrigues me because these other two guys were in the military, and they were doing these kind of really intense, crazy feats of exercise or whatever for the purpose of staying alive, essentially, right? Like there's that mentality there. With Cam Hanes, check him out. This guy is an avid, I mean, he's a professional bow hunter. And he talks a lot about how he does these ultra marathons so that he can be at his top of his game while he's bow hunting. So for someone to love something like bow hunting so much that they put their body in that kind of a situation where you're doing 100-mile races to be able to perform as a bow hunter, just like blows my mind. Completely blows my mind. So, yeah, check those guys out. David Goggins, Jocko Willink, and Cam Hanes. And it kind of puts a lot of things really in perspective. So like I said earlier, when I'm like, I can do anything for like 30 minutes, right? Well, when I think about it and I'm like, yeah, I can, because I'm going to sit here and push myself to the limit for 30 minutes on this treadmill. And there's this other person out there, Cam Hanes or David Goggins or whoever, that's out running ultra marathons or doing, Cam Hanes does essentially a marathon a day. I mean, it's split up, but nonetheless, the dude freaking runs 26 miles a day. for training, just for training. Most people train to do marathons. They don't do marathons as training. It's insane. It completely, blows my mind, and it puts everything into perspective about how much effort can be put forth for what seems like a long time to me, but knowing that it's really a short period of time. Half hour is not a long time. You can put forth a lot of effort for 30 minutes. So that's pretty much it for, my little experience here and how I deal with, trying to better my mental toughness and gain mental toughness, and, what toughness I have, mental toughness I have. So I believe that, the biggest crutch that most people have is their mental game. And so I'm trying to work on that, the most, because that's what's going to allow me to put forth those, really intense amounts of effort in my physical game. So that's it, right? 2 pounds down, and my little spiel on mental toughness right there. So, if you guys got anything as far as the mental toughness goes, any ideas or how you guys do it, or, let's just talk to me in the comments. Let me know. I'm interested to see what everybody says and how they deal with these kind of things. Yeah, we'll call it a day. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more like it, subscribe. And we'll see you next time. Have a good day, everybody.